I need to tell you something. I've met someone else, someone better. I won't be attending our wedding next month. I wish you well. That was the entire email Ethan sent me at 6:47 a.m. on a Tuesday, exactly 32 days before our wedding. I stared at my phone in disbelief, my coffee going cold beside my laptop. It felt like the ground beneath me had shifted. 3 years together, 8 months of being engaged, hundreds of "I love yous" exchanged, all of it dismissed in just 4 sentences. I'm Alysa Reynolds, and I'm 30 years old. I'm an interior designer living in Boston. Before that morning, I thought I had it all. My career was going well. I had a beautiful apartment in the city, and I was engaged to a man I thought was my soulmate. Ethan and I met at a charity gala, where his investment firm was one of the major sponsors. He charmed me right from the start, smart, confident, and what I thought was genuine kindness. I was swept off my feet, and I thought I had found the perfect guy. But now that I look back, I can see the signs, the little things I ignored because I didn't want to believe they meant anything. The expensive gifts he couldn't afford. The late-night work meetings that always seemed to leave his collar smelling like another woman's perfume. The way he would snap when I asked about the bills or unusual charges on our joint credit card. Love has a funny way of making you ignore those red flags, even when they're right in front of you. Have you seen this? I texted Rachel, my best friend, sending her the email Ethan had sent me. She replied almost instantly, "I'm coming over, don't do anything yet." Rachel arrived and found me sitting at the kitchen island. The wedding invitation samples I'd just received that morning were scattered around me. The irony wasn't lost on me. On one side, there were elegant invitations with gold lettering reading, "Join us in celebrating our love." On the other, my phone showed the email from Ethan, which felt like the death certificate of my relationship. What kind of coward breaks up over email? Rachel's voice was shaking with anger as she read the message. "After everything you've done for him?" She was right. I'd supported him through so much. I'd helped him out when his finances were tight, worked hard to help him network and meet better clients, and even agreed to wait on buying a house so he could focus on his business ventures. But Ethan didn't know everything. He didn't know that for the past few months, I'd been paying attention, closely. I'd been quietly documenting his suspicious behavior. The engagement ring he'd given me, which he'd claimed was a family heirloom, I had already discovered it was a recent purchase from a luxury resale shop. 2 weeks ago, I'd sold it when I found lipstick on his shirt that he couldn't explain away. The money from the ring was now sitting in a separate bank account, waiting. Waiting for what? I wasn't sure, until now. The numbness I felt after reading Ethan's email was starting to fade. In its place, I felt something sharper, clearer, focused. Ethan thought he could just send an email and walk away from our life together. He was about to learn a very valuable lesson about underestimating the wrong woman. I met with Thomas for coffee to wrap up his investigation. He slid a folder across the table and said, "I thought you'd want to know. Ethan's moved back in with his parents in New Hampshire. His father's trying to help him sort out the debt. But it's worse than we thought. The gambling wasn't just a small problem. He owes some serious money to people." I nodded, not sure how to feel about the news. "And Claire," Thomas continued, "she took a job in California. From what I can tell, she wants nothing to do with him." Thomas paused and looked at me. "You know, in my line of work, I meet a lot of people seeking revenge. Most of them go about it the wrong way. They let their emotions get the best of them, and they end up making things worse for themselves. But you didn't do that. You simply exposed the truth. Everything that happened to Ethan is because of his own choices." I thought about that for a moment. Sometimes the truth is the best revenge, I said. I remembered how easily Ethan had lied to me, how he had built his life on a foundation of deception. I just made sure everyone saw it at once. Thomas smiled at me. "Well, you still have some money left in your retainer. Want me to keep an eye on him?" I shook my head. "No, I'm done. He can figure out his own life now." As I walked home, my phone buzzed with a message from Rachel. "Lunch tomorrow, that new place on Newberry Street, my treat." I smiled, thinking of how Rachel had supported me through everything. That's when it hit me. The weight I had been carrying for months, the constant tension in my shoulders, was finally gone. Ethan's betrayal had broken my heart, yes, but it hadn't broken me. It had shown me how strong I really was. The truth had become my weapon, and I had used it well. Ethan had thought he could just press send on an email and walk away, leaving me behind without a second thought. Instead, his entire world had collapsed. He had to face the consequences of all his lies. The next few months brought unexpected changes. Without Ethan's constant drain on my finances, my savings grew quickly. I started getting more high-end design projects from clients who respected my work and trusted my judgment. My portfolio grew, and with it, my confidence. One morning, while getting coffee at my usual cafe, I ran into Richard, Ethan's old boss. Richard had been involved in the aftermath of everything, though we'd never talked about it directly. "Alysa," he said warmly, "how are you holding up?" I stirred my coffee, thinking about the question. "Actually, I'm doing really well, better than I expected." Richard nodded, then paused. "I should have told you this sooner. We'd been investigating Ethan's accounts for months before everything came out. We found irregularities we couldn't ignore, but we had no idea about the personal stuff, the gambling. For one, you did us a favor by bringing all that to light." "I just needed the truth to come out," I said. "Everything else is just consequences." Richard continued, "Well, speaking of consequences, we're redesigning our office space, all 40,000 square feet. Would you be interested in submitting a proposal? Your reputation in the design community is excellent, and after everything, well, let's just say I trust your attention to detail." That project became my biggest one yet, an entire corporate office overhaul that would really put my firm on the map. The irony wasn't lost on me. Ethan's downfall had led to my greatest professional breakthrough. My parents, who had been so upset when the wedding was called off, now proudly told people about their daughter, the successful businesswoman. My mom even admitted that she had never really trusted Ethan. Something about him was too polished, she said, like he was trying too hard to be perfect. Rachel convinced me to start dating again. At first, I was hesitant, but she said, "Not everyone is hiding a secret life, and now you know the red flags to watch for." She was right. I found myself noticing things I might have ignored before, little inconsistencies, subtle manipulations, the way some men talked about their exes. Each time I caught something, I felt like I was winning. It was proof that I had learned from what I went through, not been broken by it. The last ties to Ethan fell apart slowly. His mother called me one last time, apologizing for her son's behavior and returning a family necklace I had left at their house. I decided to donate everything wedding-related. No point in keeping reminders of a bullet I had dodged. The save-the-date cards, the venue deposit, the carefully chosen color swatches, all of it was gone. I was clearing space for new possibilities. Sometimes, usually late at night, I would think about Claire. Had she been as fooled as I had been? Did she ever lie awake wondering what parts of her relationship with Ethan had been real? I hoped she had found her way to a better life, too, one free from his web of lies. The money I got from selling the engagement ring turned out to be a blessing. It was my escape fund, and it helped me expand my business. I hired 2 junior designers and moved into a proper office space. Every time I signed a new client contract or approved a new design, I thought about Ethan's dismissive email. He thought he was ending my story, but really, he just set me free to write a much better one.